Hi, my name is Simon, and today this is what we're going to be able to achieve. The moment I press register, I already have an error check of what fields have been submitted and those that are not, or those that are empty. I can even do a password check to know that my characters in the password are not to the minimum number required. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Hello there, thank you so much for watching these videos, and my name is Simon. Alright, so do not forget to subscribe, like and share. I read comments and then get to know how I'm doing with the course. Apart from that, you can subscribe to the channel or even like, so that the video is suggested to different people who are looking or seeking for the same ideas just like you. Feel free to donate for the cause as in a way of supporting this channel, and the link is given in the description as well as shared in the previous videos. Let's proceed. As shown before, we are going to be doing our error checking, because right now we can register a person, but the fields, some of them may be sent when empty, so we can do a validation before we even send anything to the API. And how do we do that? And that's what we're going to learn today. Alright, so I already made this large enough so that you can be able to see the code very well. I think I can also press Ctrl B and I hide the browser so that we have enough space. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another array, and I'm going to call this array errors. So which will be an empty array. So we're going to come and first initiate this .errors. So this .errors is equal to an empty array. All right, so we want to add something to this array. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to do a check. So if, let's say first name, so if this dot register dot first name dot first name, okay, then do this. So we have something in programming called not. So if it is not there, so if not, that's what it's supposed to be. So let me first do the normal if. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do something. We're going to add something to this .errors. So we're going to do this .errors .push. Push is to add something to the array itself, and then we say in a string that first name is required. All right, so something that we're going to say that if this is present, then first name dot required should be there. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and do something. I'm creating a p tag. So, and then I add errors. Of course, it's not going to display well, no worries, but we're going to fix that. So errors. All right, so that's that little array box we have there. All right, so if I add something here in first name, and then I press register, it is showing me that first name required. So what we're going to do is if not empty, okay? So if not, so meaning that if it is not present, so if not, so which means if I leave it empty, all right, and then I press register, it says first name required. But if I fill in something and then I press register, okay, it sends something. Of course, I'll get errors because other fields in the array can't be empty, you can see. But we've done the first error check. So since this is a set of items in the array, we have to do a v-for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a UL, so unordered list, and then I'll make this error. So, and I create a list of errors. So what I'm going to do is create an li, and then I add error. All right, so error, of course, is not present. We must do a for loop, and this is how we do a for loop in Vue. So we do v for, and then we put an equal sign, and then we loop through. So the first thing we do, we put a brackets like this, and then we include the final word, the singular that we want to achieve. The singular is error. Then that error should have something that identifies it, and that can be the index in the array. Now, we want to find error in the multiple, which is errors. And then we're going to add the key. So which key? So we bind it. That's a binding character. Key. Which key is going to be the index. Great, you can see everything has disappeared this time around. Okay, so when I press register, you can see first name required. Okay, we shall find a suitable place to add this, this list. But now we can get all that we need. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go down here and copy everything for all the fields that are required. So this dot first name, the other will be last name, the other will be email, the other will be phone number, and then lastly, we expect something concerning the password. Great, so let me do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, so of course we need to change this first name. This should be last name. All right, so I'm going to do some little validation. So if I add everything apart from the password, so you can see password required. Great, so I still get this error, yet everything. So the first thing I'm going to check is for the error's length before I get this constant. So what I'm going to do, so it's if not this dot errors dot length, okay, then do the following. All right, so let's do this. The first thing we're going to do so let's first check if this, and then we do a console log to see how many errors do we have. So console dot log, and then what we're going to do this dot errors dot length to see how many errors do we have. Okay, so let that be a check. So we expect the results to be on this other side. So if I press register, you can see we have 5 errors. If I fill in the rest, and here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I fill in some of them apart from the password, so we have 1 error, which error is given to us. All right, so we're going to choose that if not that length, okay, meaning if it is 0. So if I do a console.log here and I register, okay, so if there are no errors, continue and do something. All right, so I'm just going to get this last bracket, this one here, copy it and put it at the end of the axios. Let me see. Is it at the end of the method or? Okay, this is the tag for the method. And this is for, okay, at the end here. All right, like that. So I can put, this is end tag for error check, error length check. Just like that. So, which means if any of the fields is empty, you're not going to do anything. So this error that we've been receiving here is not supposed to surface. So if I send, it gives me a warning, but it has not set anything. So you can see we do not have, it has not sent. But if I go ahead and register another user, maybe John Doe, and then I give John Doe a password, okay, and then I register John Doe, so the error is 0, but I have an error here on the register, so I'm going to check what is it that I'm not getting. All right, so the password must be at least 8 characters. Okay, so I need to do another check for how many characters is the password. All right, so let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I choose to register. This time around, I do not have an error. It has given me a back the person that has been created. Okay, and it is showing me that this person has been created based on the response. And if I check in the database, John Doe is there. All right, so there is another error that we must check of how many characters. So we must make sure that the person's password is the varied number of characters. So how do we check that? All right, you guessed right. So what we're going to do, we're just going to come again to our validation. Then we do another for the password. So if not this registered password and it's less than 8, okay, so indicate to the user that the password, password must be 8 characters. Must be 8 characters. All right, so if we try that again, we fill in everything, and then the password we put, sorry, it has reloaded, we fill in everything, and then on the password we put maybe 3 characters. You can see that we get this one. All right, so it's up to you to go ahead and make sure that these errors come to a place you feel like. For example, you can decide that let the error be shown here or below the field. So I'm just going to do a simple test with the first name. For example, you can choose that instead of that, let me comment this, that you're going to do maybe another below that says this dot register dot first name. Okay, then will equal to this sentence here. The first name is required. Okay, you can even set the color. So let me come and set a color in a style. You can even set a style color, by the way, to change the color of the name. And let me not do that because it will make the video lengthy. But if I come this time around, I choose to register, you can see that the error is now surfacing here. Okay, that the first name is required and also below. So it depends on where you want them to appear based on your desired preference. In the next video, they will be already modified, but that's how we do form validation before we go to maybe send anything to the API. We can even check it in the browser. Now, take note that there are very different ways. It depends on what feels easy for you. All right, so let's meet in the next video where we're going to check if really someone is logged in or not.